So the first type is listicle based hooks, right? So they are the simplest, they're the most popular, and you see them everywhere in articles and videos. People are like, here are 3 ways to do this. This video is kind of listicle, right? 5 mistakes you're making, 3 things nobody tell you about this. These are listicle because they're sharing a list, and it does a couple of things. First, it lets the viewer know the pacing of the video. They know that there will be a hook, there will be one thing, second thing, and third thing, however long the list is. So basically it keeps the viewer watching because they want to know all the things, if of course the topic you're talking about is interesting enough. So for example, here we have 20 hooks in this video, right? You might be watching to 1 to 7, right? And you might be, okay, this is getting boring, you won't watch it anymore. But people who are interested in hooks and want to succeed will watch all the way through because they want to learn about each and every hook, and they know that there are 20. So when I'll be on like 17th one, people will be like, okay, 3 more, good to go, right? So those are listicle hooks. Second, we have how-to. These are simple as well. Super simple, right? They are tutorial style hooks, and they also let the viewer know the structure of the video. They know that it's going to be a tutorial or step-by-step, something like that, that will show you how to achieve something. So how to right, do something in a time frame. So for example, how to get 10,000 followers in a month, right? How to basically reach a desire or solve a pain point, often in a tangible time frame, right? Tangible result in tangible time frame. The more specific you are, the better, because if I'll tell you, here's how to go viral someday, well, no one cares about that. All I care about is how to get 1 million views this week, right? Not how to blow up maybe tomorrow, I don't know, or this month, this week, right? Doesn't matter. So the fastest way, right? This is the instructional type of hooks. They let the viewer know that there's going to be a tutorial, so they work very well for product walkthroughs, all of that stuff. Or for example, how to go from current state to desired state. So you see this a lot in video thumbnails where people have like a split screen thumbnail, right? So, and this is just an example. I'm talking about TikTok hooks still, but usually you see Mr. Beast, one versus, I don't know, $1 million car, and you see the transition of going from current state to the desired state in the thumbnail itself. So the hook, your text hook and your voice hook, what you'll be reading and saying, should show that as well. How to go from being broke to never worrying about money ever again, right? Things like that. So desire-driven hooks, right? So this is the desire, the thing that your targeted audience wants to achieve. Is it lose weight? Perhaps instead of losing weight, you should say, look fittest out of your whole friend group, right? Because it's losing weight, everyone says that. Doesn't matter, that's not engaging enough. You want the hook to entice emotion, to evoke emotion. And if I say, most people don't care about losing weight, right? What they care is the second order consequences. That is being respected by their peers, feeling healthier, all of that stuff. Losing weight, yeah, I mean, that's what I Google, but my goal is not to lose weight. I want to look shredded, right? I want to get respect from my friends. I want to look better than them, all of that stuff. So desire, right? What does your ICP want? If you want to look snatched, watch this. This is how you finally get the desired result, right? And these mix and match, right? Hooks usually have a couple of these aspects, and you'll notice that once we go further into the video, you'll see different types of hooks, and you'll see that they kind of repeat, and all of them follow, not all of them, but these kind of types, they mix and match, right? Desire plus video style. So how to plus reach a desire, how to solve a pain point. Sorry, I didn't mean to flip you off. But all of that stuff, right? These types, they mix and match, and the more of them you add, the higher the emotion you invoke from the viewer, and the more they'll want to stick and watch, right? Want desired result? Start here. If dream outcome sounds good, keep watching. If never worrying about money ever again sounds good to you, if retiring early sounds good to you, keep watching. If having a 10% return on investment sounds good, keep watching. Want I don't know, what do people want nowadays? Want to drive a Mercedes? Start here, right? I don't know. First, you need to work hard, right? Okay, going on. Pain point hooks. So this is like the opposite of the desire. You know, people are often, they don't care as much about achieving something as much as losing something. So pain point, right? So, I mean, calling out someone on that as well, like spending hours on creating content. Well, here's the fix, right? I don't want that. Sometimes me getting rid of something is more valuable than getting something, the desire, right? So negative hooks, they work very well, right? So hate managing content and scheduling content and posting content. Try this instead. Maybe a scheduling tool. Tired of writing tweets yourself? Here's the solution. Another tool, right? Killing your goal. Fast food is killing your workout results. Here's how to stop craving them, right? You see all of this stuff. You mention a pain point, basically something that your viewer struggles with. You mention that, boom, they're like there. Okay, of course I want to solve it, right? Something they're addicted to, right? All of that stuff. Curiosity gaps. Well, this is basically what it says. The curiosity, you raise question marks in the viewer's mind so they cannot scroll, right? They're like, oh, so what is it? I need to know, right? Like nobody talks about this. Or this new AI tool will blow your mind, right? And you're like, well, I mean, I can't scroll. Maybe I'm not that interested in AI tools, but I mean, maybe it's the good one. Maybe it's the good one, right? It entices FOMO, which we'll talk about in a bit as well. And you're like, I want to see it. This is the secret behind losing weight. This is the secret behind looking shredded 24/7, 365, right? This is the secret. I want to know the secret. I want to know the secret. Let me know, please. The weird trick that actually works for real estate owners to sell more than anyone else, right? What's the weird trick? I want to know. I want to know. I mean, why you're gatekeeping from me, right? You see, the curiosity gap you create, you let the viewer know that there's like something they don't know, and they will find out the payoff. They will get the payoff of finding out what that is by watching the video till the end, which is what you want, right? Shock surprise hooks, right? Whoops, my bad. Shock surprise hooks. So literally super as that, right? I was doing X completely wrong, right? I was doing content marketing completely wrong and people will watch because they maybe think, okay, maybe I'm doing it wrong as well. Yikes, you know? I can't believe this is even possible, right? Shock, surprise hook. I need to explain these ones? This just changed the way I think about rocket ships, whatever, science, black holes. The truth about LED lamps will surprise you, right? Maybe they are not as efficient as you may think. So all of those, shock, surprise hooks, something that's different, basically going against the flow, right? I was doing, I don't know, bench press completely wrong. Of course, I will watch that. Bench press, you're doing completely wrong. I will watch that because, I mean, that's shocking. Like, how can you be doing bench press wrong? It's simple movement. Maybe I am doing it wrong. You get what I'm saying? Fear of missing out. So we talked about it, right? Just previously. Fear of missing out. That's why people have social media. They don't want to delete the apps because they think, okay, I will miss what my friends are doing this weekend. The 200 stories of my friend in a concert, right? People don't want to miss out. They fear of missing out. So you can play with that and use it to your advantage by saying, you're missing out if you're not doing this. You're missing out if you're not using this app. You're missing out if you're not using this hack. You're missing out if you don't have a dog like mine. I don't know if you can see him, but everyone is talking about this. Here's why. Like, everyone is using ChatGPT, and here's why. Everyone is doing this with ChatGPT, and you should be too if you want to, I don't know, right? Like, everyone is doing that. People will want to do that as well, right? It's like the herd. People follow the herd. Don't wait until it's too late to, I don't know, stock investments. I'm not giving financial advice. Don't worry about that. This is an example of a hook. Calm down, right? But like, don't wait until it's too late. People don't want to miss out, right? Investing something, maybe, right? Using new trends on TikTok, right? Using new app. GPT-5 came out. Using that. Google VO3. No one wants to miss out. Everyone wants to be first. So if you don't wait until you use this prompt for this AI, I will say saving more engagement to the video, blow up, boom, right? This opportunity won't be around forever. You hear this a lot, crypto coins, all of that, right? Oh, this is going to moon tomorrow, right? This is going to rapidly go up. Loads of voodoos, right? Okay, going on together. Contrain, hot take. I would say this more like controversial hooks, right? So you're going against what most people say, or being on the edge, being a bit kind of unhinged, right? That's why they say hot take hooks. So like, stop doing bench press, right? It's ruining your chest size. You know, that's like, what? You're telling me to stop doing bench press? That's what grows, right? The chest. And this kind of shock as well, controversial, being like making people, I don't know, saying the opposite of what most people say is what will have people watch the video. And especially, for example, saying stop doing bench press, it will have so many people commenting saying that no, the bench press is good, because it is, right? And that will boost engagement. Again, why common advice is dead wrong, right? Again, why common thing that people believe, you say the opposite. I don't know. Again, I want to talk about investments. Again, no financial advice, but why investing is wrong? Why S&P 500 is bad, right? You say this. Everyone will definitely start a conversation in the comments, and they will watch and will see your point just to argue with you. All of that. You've been lied to about business, right? You don't need UGC Farms. You need VidRain. Quick little plug of my product, but this is an example, right? Maybe you don't need to UGC Farms and post bajillion videos every single day, every single month. Maybe instead you just need great quality content, and you'll save money and, I don't know, build an asset which is a good brand, right? The problem with, I don't know, creatine, protein, nobody wants to admit, right? Maybe, I don't know, maybe there are no problems. Maybe this is a problem. But what often people do is say there's a problem with protein, nobody wants to admit, and maybe that is the pricing. Maybe that is that it's not plant-based, right? It doesn't have to be that you disagree with that thing entirely. Like the problem with UGC, nobody wants to admit, right? I might talk about it. I do UGC. So you may think, okay, so is he against UGC? No, I'm not against UGC, but there's a problem with UGC. It costs a ton. AI UGC looks awful, and there's no way to scale for the creators, right? Everyone wants to replace the creators, use AI to save money, but that sucks the soul out of the content. Instead, what you should do, what we do with VidBreeze and VidRain, is let the creators be the best form of themselves and manage more clients by automating the brain dead stuff and still allowing them to leverage their skills and make a lot more content. Basically, story-based hooks, right? So story-based basically lets the viewer know that the video is kind of a story, right? I was there, I will get there, and the video will get the viewer, I will tell the viewer how you got from point A to point B, which is basically point A without the desire in a pain point, and point B is where you get the desired result and solve the pain point, right? I was at my lowest point when, I don't know, 2 months ago, I wasn't getting any views. Here's what happened when I tried this and that, right? This experience, I tried UGC Farms. I created hundreds of accounts. I got 200 views on each video. Nothing worked, right? I spent out thousands of dollars for UGC creators. The crazy story of how I went from 60 kgs to 80 kgs, right? That's how I'm looking now, right? The story, maybe some turns there, right? Here you are storytelling. Of course, some hooks change the whole format of the video. Remember, listicle, right? How to. They change the whole style of the video, so you cannot just slap these hooks on any type of video you want, right? But if you say if you use story-based hook, the video should be story-based, right? Because it should talk about what the viewer expects. If you switch the video and say, I was at my lowest point when this happened, and then here are 3 tips to do this, people would just scroll. Your retention will drop, right? No one likes that. Am I recording? I am. Okay, good. Data, proof-based hooks. So this is kind of like you show your proof that you did something, your accountability, or you show that you're the authority, you did something, basically proof that something works, right? So this strategy got me this many results in this time frame. So this strategy got me 10 clients in a month. We tested hundreds of hooks. So you're using data to prove that what you're talking about isn't bullcrap. It's not pulled out of the bum, right? It's true. There's evidence to it, right? This one change boosted my, I don't know, click-through rate by 5%, right? And then you show the proof and tell how to implement it, or you show the proof and sell the implementation, right? Vidroin again, right? You can implement all of these hooks. Anyways, numbers don't lie. This and that works, ads, whatever it is. We tested hundreds of different hooks. Here's what worked, right? We tested hundreds, here's what works. A real example. I have examples right here. I mean, I should show the videos with these hooks, perhaps. That would be even more data and proof based, but we're not about that. This is not that type of video. Anyways, you understand, right? You show data, tangible results. Always be specific and tangible. Don't say go viral. Say we got this many views. Don't say I got some clients. Say how many clients you got, how much you closed in revenue, in profit, whatever it is. Challenge in their hooks, right? I bet you cannot do that in the time frame, or you can say that that this happened with your friend. My friend bet I couldn't do this in the time frame. Or 7-day challenge, right? I will be posting for 10 days every day, every single day, or trying out side hustles on TikTok, right? These are basically challenges. You do something, you take kind of, again, storytelling, you take the viewer throughout your experience, what happened, you show them what worked, what doesn't, and the payoff is basically the result. Can you do this without obstacle? I mean, these examples are not great. Instead, listen to the ones I'm telling you. But yeah, understand, right? Trying to, I don't know, build a business with $0 starting out without audience. These are challenge hooks, right? Super simple. Question hooks, right? Question hooks. Question, simple as that. Do I need to explain anymore? No, it's a question. Like, ask the viewer something. What's stopping you from getting there and there? Have you tried this and that? Do you make this mistake when doing this? Did you know that you can create highly performing user-generated content without actually filming anything yourself and without using artificial intelligence? That's the first hook about Vidroin, right? Vidroin again. I'm plugging my stuff because I can. I'm giving you value. Don't blame me, blame the game. I don't know. Sorry, potato. Comparison hooks, right? Old versus new. So this is what we talked about in the hooks, right? Here you show how to get from one state to the other, but here you also show the differences between one state and the other. For example, how to go from 60 kgs to 80 kgs. Again, me flexing. Why this is better than that, right? Why BMW is better than Audi. Forget, I don't know, Apollo IO, use LeadsForge for lead generation instead. The difference between ChatGPT and Claude for coding is huge, and you talk about it, right? So comparison, basically using two or more things to basically, well, talk about them, right? Let me just write down. Right here, don't mind me, I'll talk about it later. Only 4, so exclusivity hooks. These are basically you calling out your targeted audience. So usually these are simple, you've seen them 1,000 of times. For example, if you're a SaaS owner, you need to see this, right? So these are boring, these are old type hooks. But again, if you pair them with all the other ones, like authority, curiosity gap, if you mix and match of these hooks, this is what you should be doing. They will be super engaging. Yes, this sounds boring. If you're a, I don't know, footballer, you need to see this. I know I will not see this. 100 other people say the same thing, right? But this is a type of hook that you need to mix and match. So for example, this is only for people who do this and that. This is only for Alex Hormozi is a video I did previously on this channel if you want to watch it. Like that video, of course, isn't just for Alex Hormozi, but when I mention Alex Hormozi, it filters out my ICP because Alex Hormozi might be my ICP. So everyone who is like Alex Hormozi will watch the video as well. Like, okay, this is for Alex Hormozi. Well, I think I'm Alex Hormozi as well. I will watch the video, right? Group niche, this will change everything. So like content creators, this will change everything, right? I'm letting you use VidRain to scale your content creation. Again, I'm finding ways to pitch my product, but sorry, it's an example. You don't have to use my product. Calm down. Not everyone will get this, but you will. Not the best example, but again, these hooks kind of call out your targeted audience, so only your ICP watches, everyone else will scroll. I mean, this is lazy way, but again, if you kind of mix and match with others, it will be good. Pattern interrupt. These happen always with visual hooks. You see people putting the phone down, talking like this, doing this, you know, doing something. Visual hooks. Usually patterns are best interrupted with visual hooks and audio, not text or not something you're saying, but you can also interrupt patterns by being, I don't know, by shouting at the start, like being super emotional. This is ways to say the hooks instead of real examples. By breaking a pattern, by being controversial, I mean, and stuff like that, right? Teaser, cliffhanger hooks, so like something big is coming, right? You kind of hinting at something. Again, this entices FOMO, right? So like this one part will blow your mind. What will blow my mind? Show me. Is it ChatGPT again releasing ChatGPT 6, which is now, instead of just combining the older parts, it's now combining older parts and ChatGPT 5? Wow, hooray, again. Right? Stuff like that. And before and after. So transformation, we talked about here. You kind of similar thing to this, right? Before and after. From bad state to good state. So we had this, but this was kind of for the not listicle, for the how-to style. So how to go from this. And here it's kind of showcasing the transformation, right? What I looked like this day before this day. So maybe this, you use this after doing the challenge, right? You have a challenge. Can I make a business after in 7 days? And then you say, here's how day 1 of building a business looked like versus day 30, right? Day 1, maybe I was thinking of the idea. Day 30, managing all these people, I don't know, doing cold outreach, right? This transformation was unreal, right? Transformation, what is it? Or maybe people fixing cars, right? The polishing, the detailing, you see those videos, like people send a video to the client, say, here's your car done, and they say like, oh, this is not my car, and then they zoom out, right? The transformation. Wow, the car looks good. Or someone doing detailing, say like, oh, I'm not looking for perfection, and then you see the transition and it's like, I am, and the car goes from filthy to clean. Wow, I would eat off watermelon off of it, right? It's so clean. But basically it's transformation before and after, right? Simple as well. I mean, if you don't understand any of these, I don't judge you. Just comment below, I'll explain it to you more. Anyways, you're doing something wrong, right? Mistake. Again, like I said previously, sometimes people, well, a lot of the times, people are more afraid to lose something or do something negative than gain something. Basically, people, imagine this. Do you want to earn $100 more, or are you afraid to lose $100 more, right? Which one would, I mean, my explanation of this is terrible, but basically people, there are more emotions tied to losing something than gaining something, right? If you got $100, good, right? If you lost $100, well, that's insane. That's insane, right? So this is the same thing. People are afraid to look stupid, to fail, to do something, to make a mistake. That's why you can call them out. You're doing something wrong. Here's the right way, right? You're doing squats wrong. Here's the right way, you know, your knees or something. Don't go over your toes. The number one mistake I see with content creation. Boom! With SaaS content creation, with SaaS user-generated content creation, being more specific, right? Don't do this when you are petting a dog, right? You pet the dog a lot, you like petting dogs, then don't do this. And you're thinking, okay, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this mistake, the dog will bite me, people will look at me weird, right? It's a mistake type hook. Avoid this if you care about kitty cats, right? Avoid it. Don't purr them, whatever it is, right? Mistake hooks, use them. Authority, again, so this is kind of showing proof, like I talked about in here. Here you have data proof, so you show your authority, that you have proof that this works, you have experience in this. Similarly, here you use data, like we tested 100 hooks, whatever, and here you show authority, like I worked with these clients, kind of testimonial case study, right? After 10 years in content creation, here's my biggest lesson, right? I actually spent 10 years in content creation, so I started 10 years ago making gameplay videos, of course. What, Alex Hormozi taught me about content. What did he taught me? Alex Hormozi makes so many pieces of content every single month, every single day, right? What did he taught me about it, right? He knows what he's doing. He's the authority, right? You will trust him, and if I'm talking about him, you will trust me, kinda, because you know what I'm talking about is what he does, not me. So, Result taught me more than any course ever could. So, right, working for 10 years for this person taught me more about real estate than any course could. Here's what I would do differently if I started a business again, if I started dropshipping again. Like, you see this a lot, right? So you present yourself as an authority or showcase an authority, so people would trust you and wouldn't think what you're talking about is just, I don't know, something you pulled out of your bum or asked ChatGPT about. Metaphor, analogy, right? So your comparisons, like creating content is like going to the gym. You have to put the reps in if you want to see your viewer count grow. Again, enough showing this. Sarah, think of, think of filming videos like SpongeBob making Krabby Patties, right? Each video will get better than the last. Maybe some Krabby Patties will fall out of the pan. Maybe some Krabby Patties miss the seasoning. But once you make enough Krabby Patties, or content, I'm talking about content, you will master it and you'll do it good, you'll do it efficiently, and you'll get views, right? So again, analogy, like you're comparing something to something, putting two things. So for example, you understand the Krabby Patties, right? SpongeBob, everyone loves SpongeBob. So if I explain content as if it's SpongeBob Krabby Patties, you'll be like, oh yeah, makes sense. That's why people say, like, explain like I'm 5, or explain like a monkey in banana terms, right? Investing. So if I take banana, if I give banana, I get more banana back, right? Simplifying analogies, metaphors. If common thing and common thing had a baby, this would be this, right? Again, taking two popular things, this is 4, this is 2, putting them together so people know what one thing is. So for example, there's this new app that feels like Pinterest, and that's how they actually promote it. Say this is what if Pinterest and ChatGPT had a baby would look like, right? So okay, so there will be search and I will get Pinterest inspiration stuff, right? Whatever it is. Pain point is like quicksand. The harder you fight, the worse it gets. I don't know. You get it, right? You kind of compare stuff next to other. Now this is 20 hooks, right? There are a lot more. You have kind of the way that you present the hooks. So for example, social hacking, I wrote right here, I talked about it. What Alex Hormozi, this is social hacking. You mentioned something already popular. There are a lot more hooks, a lot more things to it that I can talk about. So if you want to figure out, like, these are types of hooks, if you want to learn about how to present them, I can make another video. Just let me know down in the comments below. If you want me to show other types of hooks apart from these 20, also let me know down in the comments below. Otherwise, check out some videos here. Peace. Have a good one. Bye.